Imagine if a haunted house started a rock band, directed its own movies, and then sold you a t-shirt of itself. That's Rob Zombie. He's a musician, filmmaker, artist, and the only man alive who can make a song about drag racing sound like a satanic ritual. This is the story of Rob Zombie, from underground freak to Hollywood horror icon. Before Rob Zombie became a solo artist, he was the mastermind behind White Zombie, a band so weird that even their name came from a 1932 Bela Lugosi horror film. Rob's real name is Robert Bartley Cummings. He changed it to Zombie because, let's be honest, Robert Cummings doesn't exactly scream rock god. White Zombie formed in New York City in 1985, blending punk, metal, and B-movie samples into something that sounded like a horror film on fire. They would do Soul Crusher in 87. It was raw, noisy, and terrifying, like being attacked by a VHS tape. Make Them Die Slowly in 89. It was a step toward the industrial metal sound. And then Last Exorcisto, Devil Music Volume 1, my favorite. That one was in 92, and it was a breakthrough album featuring Thunderkiss 65, of course. It exploded on MTV's Beavis and Butthead, which means White Zombie owes part of their success to two cartoon idiots. Then came Astro Creep 2000 and 95, with hits like More Human Than Human. That song title is a reference to Blade Runner, because Rob Zombie doesn't just watch cult movies, he lives them. By the mid-90s, White Zombie was huge, but after years of touring, Rob decided it was time to go solo and take his monster machine with him. First up, Hellbilly Deluxe in 1998. It featured Dragula, Living Dead Girl, and Super Beast. In 1998, Rob Zombie unleashed his solo debut, a carnival of horror, sex, and speed. Dragula was named after Grandpa Munster's hot rod from the Munsters, because of course it was. The album went triple platinum and turned Rob into a household name, assuming your household had a skull wallpaper and a fog machine. It was metal, industrial, and completely bonkers, like Marilyn Manson in the Haunted Carnival had a baby. Next up is The Sinister Urge in 2001. It featured Never Gonna Stop, The Red Groovy, and Feel So Numb. Rob's second album was named after a 1961 exploitation film because he literally cannot resist a good B-movie reference. The track Scum of the Earth was originally written for Mission Impossible 2. Yes, Tom Cruise once ran in slow motion to Rob Zombie. The album kept the horror party vibe alive, heavy riffs, danceable beats, and lyrics that sound like they were written by a possessed comic book. His director debut, House of a Thousand Corpses in 2003, was a grindhouse fever dream full of clowns, cannibals, and chaos. Universal Pictures originally shelved the movie for being too disturbing. Rob took that as a compliment. He followed it with Devil's Rejects in 2005, a brutal, critically acclaimed sequel that proved Rob wasn't just a musician pretending to direct. He was a legitimate horror director. Later on, he would end up making a third movie to go along with these two. It would be titled 3 from Hell, which is my personal favorite. In 2006, he did Educated Horses. It featured Foxy Foxy and American Witch. After years of industrial mayhem, Rob surprised everyone with a more stripped-down, classic rock-inspired sound. The album's title came from a phrase Rob saw on a notebook, proving that even horror icons get inspiration from office supplies. Fans were divided, but the record showed that Rob could evolve and still make songs about witches. In 2007, Rob took on the Ultimate Horror Challenge, remaking Halloween. Fun fact, this is my personal favorite out of all of the Halloween movies. I think Rob Zombie did a great job making it. Please comment down below what you guys think of it. I think this movie is just amazing. His version was darker, grittier, and made Michael Myers even scarier. Mostly because he looked like he could also play rhythm guitar. Rob's wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, appears in nearly all his films because nothing says romance like murdering people together on screen. In this case, a mother of a man that's murdering people on screen who happens to be a stripper that ends up killing herself. Romance. He followed it with Halloween 2 in 2009, which was even more brutal and included ghostly visions of a white horse. Critics were confused. Rob was not. Then in 2010, we got Hellbilly Deluxe 2. Noble Jackals, Penny Dreadfuls, and the systematic dehumanization of cool. Honestly, I don't say the full title for Hellbilly Deluxe 1. I don't know why I did it for 2. Don't mind me today. It featured Sick Bubblegum and Mars Needs Woman. Rob returned to his roots: horror, humor, and headbanging. This album was recorded between movie shoots, proving that Rob Zombie's work-life balance is basically never sleep. It was a love letter to everything fans adored about him: monsters, mayhem, and madness. Next up, we get Venomous Rat Regeneration Bender in 2013. It featured Dead City Radio and the New Gods of Supertown. Rob's 2013 album was funky, weird, and full of electronic chaos, like disco music from hell. That same year, he released The Lords of Salem, a slow-burn horror film about witches, cults, and psychological torment. The movie was inspired by Rob's love of the 1970s horror and his desire to freak out anyone expecting another slasher. Then came The Electric Warlock Acid Witch Satanic Orgy Celebration Dispenser in 2016. Yes, that's the actual title. Try saying it 3 times fast without summoning something. Rob said he made the album short on purpose because people have short attention spans. He's not wrong. Next up, we got the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. It featured the triumph of King Freak and Crow Killer Blues. After a few years of silence, Rob returned with another mouthful of an album title and a sound that mixed everything he'd ever done: metal, funk, horror, and pure chaos. The album would debut at number 1 on Billboard's Hard Rock chart, proving that even after 30 years, Rob Zombie still owns Halloween. Meanwhile, he completed his Firefly trilogy, what I was talking about earlier, his 3 from Hell, bringing back his beloved psychotic family one last time. In 2022, Rob did the unthinkable. He made a family-friendly movie. His reboot of The Munsters. It was colorful, campy, and surprisingly wholesome. Rob spent years convincing Universal to let him make it. The result, a PG-rated love letter to classic monster movies. Fans were divided, but Rob didn't care. He finally got to bring his favorite TV family back from the grave. Today, Rob continues to tour, record, and direct, proving that horror and rock and roll never die. They just get louder. From underground clubs to Hollywood sets, Rob Zombie built an empire out of monsters, music, and madness. He's a rock star, a filmmaker, and the only man alive who can go from directing a slasher film to performing at a festival, all before lunch. And that, dear mortals, is how Rob Zombie became the king of the undead. One riff, one scream, and one blood-soaked masterpiece at a time. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. Catch you guys in the next one.